This is episode 47 of Lost Signals. My name is Darrell.
I'm JD.
I'm trying out
Hey.
new things to say at the beginning because I've been saying the same shit over and over, and I think it's time I change it up a little bit.
But there's nothing wrong with repetition.
Well, no, but I mean, it's sometimes you gotta find something else new that works, right?
Fair enough.
You know, it's like jerking off in the shower or something. You just gotta
So sometimes you have to switch up the shampoo.
exactly. You gotta do something different here and there just to make when you get to our ages, like repetition sometimes isn't the best, right?
No, exactly. You gotta change it up in the bedroom.
Yeah, you get carpal tunnel sometimes, or you fall. It's this whole thing, right?
How you been?
Oh, good. And okay, so full disclosure, it is currently 20 after 11 p.m. my time, so 10 after, or 20 after, 10 for you, and you're drinking tea. I'm guessing not like high caffeine tea at this point.
No, God, no. It's just peppermint tea.
Oh, fair enough. I am drinking a beer.
There you go.
Oh. So what's been up? It's been a week or two. I know it's a little longer than what we have been planning on lately, but we other stuff going on.
Oh, absolutely. I've been busy. At the radio station, the afternoon guy has been on vacation for 3 weeks, and so I've been the pseudo afternoon guy, and it's been kind of fun. I've had weekends off for the first time in 6 years. So that's been really wild.
I could just imagine the stuff that you're going to get up to on a weekend when you haven't had one off in years. Like you're just out at the club, just having a good time, just like
drinking beers with both hands. Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
drinking beers and getting that street hot dog at 3:00 in the morning.
Oh yeah.
Those were the best back in the day.
And we used to have one of those guys that would hang out outside the local bar.
Yeah.
And some of the best hot dogs. And he wasn't just exclusively at night either. He would be there in the middle of the day, lunchtime.
Right.
He'd make a killing.
You know what? You got to make that hustle, man. You gotta hustle to survive sometimes. But man, like I can't tell you how many times, like in my 20s anyways, when I used to I was never a club kid, but I went to bars enough. But sometimes that 2:00 in the morning, that glizzy hit hard.
Oh yeah.
Oh God. It's like, this is the best thing ever. You get it, like loaded with cheese and shit. Yeah, it's so
The relish is questionable. The mustard is like watery.
But at 2:00 or 3:00 in the morning, it doesn't really matter, does it?
Oh no, God no! It's the best thing ever. It's
exactly
perfect fucking meal right there and then.
And then you go to 7-Eleven and get some chicken strips or something after that. That's a perfect Saturday night.
Yeah.
If you're 20 and have the guts that can handle that still.
Exactly.
Not so much anymore. I enjoy a nice barbecued hot dog here and there, but just not like the old days.
No, God no.
Yeah.
No. I do recall like the best hot dogs. I knew it was going to be a good barbecue when the best hot dogs were the wieners that were individually wrapped with the very thin plastic, and there was it was links, right?
Yeah.
You'd see those in the grocery bag, and like, yes.
Yep. Yeah, those are the sheepskin ones you used to be able to get. I think since COVID you can't get them anymore.
I don't think so. No,
I haven't seen them for quite a while. And here we go talking about wieners again.
Welcome to another episode of Lost Signals.
It's the same shit over and over again.
No, but it's been wild. I've like I said, it's the first time in 6 years, literally 6 years, I've had weekends off because I've gone from the evening and weekends guy to the afternoon guy when the regular afternoon guy has been taking time off. He's
Yeah.
been in the UK for 3 weeks.
Oh,
And so,
lucky him.
oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely. He got out like days before the strike at the airports.
Oh,
Days before.
the WestJet strike,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Lucky him.
So yeah, like he's smart man. Like been doing this a while. But for me, it's just been, like I said, it's just been wild. Like getting weekends off for the first time in 6 years, and like waking up on a Saturday morning and a Sunday morning and not having to like wake up, have breakfast, get in routine, get down to the station, prep, and then execute a show. It's just been like,
Yeah.
fuck, this is what it's like sleeping in on a weekends. I could get used to this.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So.
like I'm a perpetual shift worker and will be probably until the end of my life. Knowing that feeling that sometimes, like, you wake up on a Saturday morning, it's at 6 o'clock to go to work. It's like, what in the fuck am I doing? It's like, why am I doing this? Then you get the paycheck. It's like, okay, this is why I'm doing this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I'm sure
there's the answer.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this before. Like, I like working shift work because I like days off during the week, so we can do this sort of thing at like 11:30 on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I have to work all weekend, day shift, but it's fine. So
Yeah.
So right before we went on, I was perusing my Facebook page. So let me rephrase that. I was looking at the ads that were targeted at me on Facebook, because that's exactly what it is. And we all know this. It's all the same shit. But something popped up, and it's obviously I'm a metal dude and always have been. There's that Loudwire page.
Okay.
Yeah, they do interviews with, like, they're a fairly big media outlet and whatever, like, and they had a video on their page, and it was Steel Panther. I think we've talked about Steel Panther on here before.
I think so.
If you don't know who Steel Panther is, they're pretty much like, I'm not going to call them like a parody act, but they kind of are in a sense. But so they do 80s and early 90s hair metal.
Right.
Which probably would have been around a lot longer if Nirvana didn't exist.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. It would have been there. So this, excuse me. This video is that Steel Panther went and auditioned on America's Got Talent. And I know you haven't seen this video yet, and I'm not going to bring it up here, but they killed it.
Yeah, of course.
They 100% killed it. I mean, I've never seen Steel Panther in concert. I am definitely well aware of their existence, and I know people that have gone and watched their shows, and it is a trip. Like, it is just like, it's a hell of a show.
Yeah.
And it's funny, and like, so they played this one song. I can't remember the title. It's something about she's a panther, or it's not a cougar, but something like to that effect. And all four judges just fucking went nuts for it. So I'm proud of them, actually. Like, even if, because obviously they're not gonna win this sort of this competition. They're just not. It's not gonna happen. But what they're doing by going to audition, and especially now, like, I mean, we're even talking about it, it's all on Loudwire, and it was a couple days ago already, or 2 days ago, whatever. It doesn't matter. Right. They're just getting new listeners and followers. Right?
Oh, absolutely.
So, I mean, props to them. I mean, and like, again, like, I've heard Steel Panther songs before.
Yeah.
But Jesus Christ, like, some of the songs that they sing, like, there's not, you can't do that on America's Got Talent.
No.
You can't.
I'm looking at some of their songs. Never Too Late to Get Some Pussy Tonight. Friends with Benefits. Community Property. Glory Hole.
Apparently that Community Property is a very vulgar song.
I know.
for the just the title alone would set that all for me.
So Steel Panther is it's like Ouroboros. They are a hair metal band that has embraced it to the point of comedic effect, but has swung all the way back around to be this incredible hair metal band.
Yeah.
They like it's just this endless circle of this is funny, but fuck, they are good.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, even like on the video, Simon Cowell even said, it's like, you don't get that good without playing for a long time. And it's 100% right. You know, like, again, like I played in bands for years. And like my old band, I mean, my new bands are good too. Don't get me wrong. But like my old band, like we were to the point where it didn't matter anymore if we practiced or not. We could get on stage, we could pound out 10 songs and fucking not even, and then not talk to the guys for another, like 6 months afterwards. I mean, honestly, right now we could probably like it might take 1 or 2 practices to get back into it, but like my old band, I mean, it could happen. It never will, but that could. Right. So, I mean, props to them for going out and doing that. I mean, again, it's probably just a publicity stunt.
Oh, 100%. But like it's a publicity stunt that worked.
Yeah. I mean, like we're talking about, and I mean, they got to the second round. So, I mean, like good for them.
Yeah.
So, something that happened in the meantime since our last chat and now is I went to the United States and back.
Right. How was that?
It was a fucking trip, man. It was a trip. It was a literal trip too. So, I had to be Saskatoon Airport super early on the Sunday morning. Like I was up at 4. Ugh. Oh, it was terrible. Like my flight was at like 7 or something. So, I had to be up at 4, and then I think my mom and dad picked me up at 5 or whatever the hell time it was. Mom and dad are always up early anyway, so it's like, like they had to go to the city anyways that day. So
right.
Pick me up, get to the airport, sit around, wait, and it's not like my other trips that we've talked about before where, like I've lost luggage or, like I was going to Mexico or whatever.
Right.
I brought a carry-on and that's it. Because I was only gone 5 days. I didn't have to bring anything with me.
Yeah.
So, like, and we've talked about this before, but it's a little different this time. So my flight from Saskatoon to Calgary was on a jet.
Right.
And we've talked about my flights to and from there over the last couple of years about doing this, that it's usually a turboprop.
Right.
From Saskatoon to Calgary.
Right.
And I fucking hate turboprops. They're so terrible. So it was a jet this time. I had decent people beside me. It was fine.
Okay.
Get to Calgary and get through security because I went and it actually threw me off. I actually went through customs in Canada to get into the States. I didn't have to do anything when I got into the States.
Oh, yeah, I did the same thing. Yeah, I've done that in Vancouver.
I guess it just depends on where you're flying out of. If you need to go that way or not. So I get through customs in Calgary and whatever, and I'm like, it's early, but there's a bar right there. So 9:00 in the morning, I'm sitting at the bar by myself, because I'm traveling by myself, and it's like, I'm gonna have a beer. Because I had like a 2.5 hour wait. Like I'm not just gonna go sit at the gate. So I had 2 or 3 beer there, and I'm talking to the wait staff. And the one bartender, I'm talking to her and whatever. And she's like, or I asked her, it's like, well, what time do you guys open in the morning for booze? And she's like, 4.
4 in the morning.
4 in the fucking morning. Like
Jesus.
That's nuts.
I bet.
Yeah. I mean, then why even close? Right? Like you just stay open 24 hours a day. I mean, what the fuck is the difference? Yeah. Whatever. So I had my 3 beer, get on the plane. And luckily enough, somehow I got a seat to myself because it was on a fucking turboprop from Calgary, from Calgary to Portland.
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah. Not a fun flight. But actually,
How long was that flight though?
Just over 2 hours. So I mean, it wasn't horrible. But just turboprop sucks so bad.
I've flown turboprop multiple times, going from Vancouver to Prince George or Prince George to Vancouver. So yeah,
They're not my favorite.
nope.
No,
But I mean, they get the job done.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I land in Portland just about around noon. My niece picks me up. Yeah. So again, so like, I went out to Portland to drive my niece home. That is the reason why I went out there. So my niece picks me up, and we start driving out towards the small city where she lives. So she lives in a small town called Forest Grove, and it's like 27,000 people apparently. So as we're driving,
Pretty small.
small for like American city standards, especially in that area. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're driving through Portland, and I start noticing things. It's like abandoned building here, like abandoned high rise there. Like a tent city over here and shit. It's almost like, if you drove down East Hastings and made a city out of it. Like that's how bad it was. Like the homeless problem and, like drug problem and shit. It's like we didn't see it like I didn't see a bunch of tweakers like running up and down the side of the freeway.
Right.
But I mean, they probably were just on the other side of the freeway barriers and shit. So whatever. And then we get out to Forest Grove, and it is like this picturesque small town, call it like not middle America, but like small town America. Like it's tiny. All the grass is cut. Like everything is nicely, maintained and shit.
Quaint.
Quaint. Yeah, that's a good word for it. So we roll up to the hotel I booked into. So there's a couple of options for hotels there. I didn't pick the cheapest one because I didn't want to pick the cheapest one. I picked the one that looked the most interesting. So I booked into, it was called McManamons. I think McManamons. It's a bunch of McManamons, yeah. Bunch of M and N's. Yeah. I checked into this one because of how it looked. So it's actually like an old Masonic temple.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I think it was built in like the late 1800s or something. We walk in, and it's just this like really funky old building. Like if you're ever in Saskatoon well, I guess the people like listeners would know, it's like it'd be like walking into like the Hotel Senator downtown. That's the 21st Street Brewery. And when you come out in August or July, I'll take you there. Sure. But so the front of this hotel is like, it's all big, like pillars and stuff, and it's like this huge staircase. There's 5 bars in this fucking hotel. Five bars. There's 2 outside bars and 3 inside. There's like 100 rooms or something.
Wow.
So whatever. Get checked in. Go up to my room. My niece, they can go drop my bags off and shit and whatever. And get in my room. There's no TV, which is fine because I have my laptop with me. I don't need a TV in my room.
Right.
But there's also no bathroom.
What? Oh, yeah. Communal.
Yeah, it was a communal bathroom. Luckily enough, the bathroom is right across the hall from me. So, but so we go downstairs. Yeah. Drop my bags off, whatever. We go downstairs, we go into the restaurant there and have lunch and had a beer. So this McManamons also has they're a chain. So they're all around the Pacific Northwest, like Washington, Oregon. There's, I think that they like 35 different locations or something between the two states.
And they all took over like old churches?
Something like that, yeah. Yeah, I guess the whole chain is like that from what I read anyways. So anyways, like we go and have lunch. And you think you get down to the States and like even like eating at a restaurant would be cheaper. No. It's like I had a sandwich, like a clubhouse sandwich or something like that, and it was like $19. $19
for a clubhouse sandwich.
Yeah. Maybe it was just the hotel I was at.
Did they make the bread themselves?
Maybe. I know they made hot sauce.
If you can't tell, like,
Yeah, I know they made hot sauce on site. So, and
Oh.
the hot sauce is really good. But yeah, and so we had lunch, and then my niece is like, "Well, let's go drive around. You know, like go see what's here."
Let's go be stupid tourists. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. But there was literally not much to see there. So we drove around the town for a little bit, you know, and it's not a big town. Like I said, like 27,000 people. So my niece shows me her townhouse that she lives in with her 2 roommates. And she's like, "Well, do you want to see my campus?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." And she's like, "Well, it's like 2 blocks from here, so we might as well just walk over there." So we walk over, and she's going like a world-class college or university, whatever the hell you want to call it. And it's like less than 1 full city block. Like this campus is tiny.
Oh, wow.
Like, again, if you were a Saskatoon person, and if I said it was about the size of like Kelsey, like Sask Polytech, like actually it's way smaller than that. Like, I think she said there's like 3,500 students there, and like it was just tiny. But regardless, we walk through her classrooms and stuff, and it's all like, well, she's going to be an optometrist, so, you know, like, she shows me all this stuff and whatever, and it's cool. See some cool shit and whatever. And it's about 4:00, and it's like, she kind of asks me, "Like, what do you want to do?" I'm like, "I want to go to my hotel and lay on my bed because I'm tired." She's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, you know, I've been up since 3:00 your time. You know, like, I'm tired." So the next day, go back to the hotel and crash. You know, I didn't even have a beer that night. You know, I crashed out.
Right.
Get up early, go wander around the yards of the hotel, and I was talking to my niece that morning, and she's like, "I have a migraine. I don't really want to do a whole bunch today." I'm like, "That's fine. I don't need a chaperone. Like, I can smell a bar from about 100 miles away. Like, I know where
Especially in the small town.
Yeah. So I started walking. I walked down this main drag. Well, I mean, I started Googling things. You know, I had my headphones and I was just out for a walk. And so before I left, my sister asked me, it's like, "Can you get an oil change done on my niece's car?" I'm like, "Yeah, no problem." So keep walking down this main drag, it was called Jim's Automotive. So you know it's kind of legit because it's like,
Yeah.
yeah. Walk in. I'm like, "Need an oil change. Could I get it done tomorrow?" They're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Do you need an appointment?" No, just bring it in. We'll take care of it. Cool.
Right.
So keep walking. And I knew actually what my destination was, and it was a brewery. Surprise. So it was about 1:00 when I get there. Right. And start hanging out with the dude that was working at the bar. You know, had a couple beers and whatever, and place is called Ridgewalker, and I still have one of their beer right here. Treewise Double IPA. Really good stuff. Made really good beer. Hung out there
I'm actually trying to look up the hotel here, but you keep going.
Yeah, the McMahon. Yeah, it's MC. A bunch of yeah. So I hung out at that brewery for a little bit till about 3:00 when this other bar just down the road opened. So I go over there and walk in and look to see what they had on tap. They had fucking like 70 taps.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Like an insane amount of taps on the wall there. So started looking through what they had on tap there. And so like I'm in this group and on Facebook called the Beer Lovers of Saskatchewan. So I posted in there.
I'm on that group too now.
How are you on that group?
I am.
Yeah, fair enough. Makes sense. But anyway, so in that group, I posted in there, like, asking people, it's like, where should I go in Portland for breweries and stuff? So I'm sitting at this, it's called the Growler Garage, and it's really cool place. And I'm talking to the bartender, and I'm talking to one of the waitresses and whatever. I said, I asked them straight up. It's like, if I was going to go into Portland, where should I go? And they're like, if you don't have to go into Portland yeah, like for any specific reason, they're like, don't, because it's not safe. Like, I'm like I feel okay. Like I'm comfortable in places like that. But like when you have like locals telling you that sort of shit, it's like, okay, well then maybe I'll avoid it.
Right.
So the good thing about the Growler Garage where it was is that they had a bunch of beer on tap there that came from breweries that I was supposed to go to in Portland. So I got to try a bunch of that stuff anyways, and it was really good. So there was so weed laws there are actually kind of weird too. I mean, I didn't buy anything when I was there, and apparently you can't if you're out of country.
Really?
Yeah, that's what my niece was telling me. It's like, if you don't have an Oregon ID, they won't sell you anything, which is kind of weird. So you can buy CBD infused drinks right at the bar, like straight, like just whatever. Like it's like 20% CBD or something. It's kind of weird.
Sounds
Not
like
not THC, CBD.
Right. Okay.
But they also had a beer that was infused with weed terpenes. Terpenes are what makes the marijuana smell the way it does.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I actually had one of them, and like, fuck, did it smell. Like, but anyway, so it was about 6:00, and it was I had my fill.
Mm-hmm.
And like, well, I better call an Uber to get back, because there is no way in hell I'm walking like the 2 kilometers back.
Right.
So get back to the hotel. I stopped in the lobby bar for a drink, and then I went to bed about 9:00 or whatever the hell time it was. Wake up the next morning,
Right.
and I texted my niece. It's like, I'm up early. I'm going to come get your car and get the oil change done on it. So go and get the oil change done on it. And then I was texting her. I'm like, what are we going to go do today? Because we got to go do something.
Right. We've already seen the town. We went out to the major intersection, looked 3 different directions, went back.
Saw about 756 American flags.
Mm-hmm.
At least. So my niece had brought up, even before I went down there, is that they filmed the Goonies not far from where her town is.
Right. You were talking about that.
Yeah. So we looked on the map. It was about 80 miles, so like 120K. So I'm like, you know what? I talked to the locals. They said, don't go into Portland if you don't have to. So I'm like, fuck it. Let's go to Astoria. And well, she had brought it up originally. So I'm like, yep.
Right. Let's
go. Hop in the car and start driving. Beautiful countryside. It's like, kind of like south of Surrey. You know, like that rolly mountains. Nothing like super big peaks or anything, but like kind of rolly and stuff.
Okay, it sounds like, it sounds like I want to say Delta and Newton, but
yeah, that makes sense. So we get out there, and it's right on the ocean, like right on the ocean, and we're waiting to get into the one town into Astoria, and there's like this 2-kilometer long bridge over the ocean, and we're wondering why traffic's backed up for like 7 miles. And we look at it and say, when we finally get up there, it's like, oh, they have people visually inspecting this fucking bridge. They're walking it. It's like, we waited for just about an hour. So whatever, we get over the bridge, we get into town, we find this tiny little restaurant, and it's like, if I'm this close to the ocean, I'm getting like fresh seafood. Well, yeah.
Just 1 and 1 equals 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got like clam chowder and then like mussels. And it was so good. Like, yeah. So we ate. I had 1 beer there, and we just started walking around the town. Like, we were down on like some wharfs and some piers and stuff, just looking around, seeing what's there. And then we're like, well, we better go find the Goonies house. So Google it. It's my niece Marley's like, okay, you got to turn here, pull up there. I was surprised. Okay, so this town, like, I think it's like 7,000 people, maybe 10,000 people.
Okay.
The amount of people going up to that house where it was filmed was nuts. Like, there's probably like 20 or 30 people just up and down this little walkway up to the house.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen the Goonies, and if you haven't at this point, well, I mean, I don't know what you're doing with your life, but it's the house where Josh Brolin and Sean Astin live in the movie. And like Josh Brolin was in that movie. He's the older brother.
Really? I never put that together.
Oh yeah. 100%. Look it up. It's him.
Oh, I believe you.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I knew like it was Will Wheaton.
No.
And
Will
no,
Wheaton.
sorry.
No.
I'm
Corey
thinking
Feldman.
Stand By Me. Corey Feldman, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, Stand By Me was filmed in that area too, though.
Oh, okay. Well, son of a bitch. Okay.
Yeah. I was gonna get to that later, but we'll
All right.
we'll touch on that later. So we get to the house to take a couple pictures, and it's a private house. Like it's like somebody lives there. So there's signs. It's like, we don't care if you're coming up and taking pictures, just like don't cross the property line.
Yeah. Just don't come in.
Yeah, like don't be a dick about it. So no, we weren't. Like we got a couple pictures and then left. So there's also a tiny little museum there. But if you've also seen the Goonies and see the opening scene where the Fratellis are breaking out of the jail, the jail is still there and it is now a museum.
Oh, that's so cool.
So we pulled up and parked there. My niece noticed right away. There's the same Jeep that's from the movie parked right out front. And if you look in the Jeep, they have all the stuff that Chunk sees in the back of it, like booster cables and all that sort of shit. So, and like all like 1980 stuff. So we walked through this tiny little museum too.
Yeah.
And it was an actual county jail up until like the 70s or something. So we walk in. So like, and there's the scene where the one Fratelli brother's like hanging himself in the cell. You can walk right up to that cell and look into it and shit. So yeah, pretty cool shit. Cool. Yeah,
that's attention to detail, and like that's catering to the fandom, which is it's a nice touch.
Well, you look at it that way, like this way, that a town that small that does have that sort of connection, like why wouldn't you have museums and stuff dedicated to it? Because like it's just gonna bring money in. I mean, like we paid $5 each US to go through this museum. Right. We didn't pay anything to go see the house, like the Goonies house or anything, but like you got to think like a movie like that is gonna bring tourist dollars in.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And there's a bunch of other stuff that we didn't end up going to see, but it was just it was a cool little trip that we did. So yeah, we saw all the stuff that we could, and it's like, yeah, well, there's a toll bridge that went across one of these inlets that went from Oregon into Washington, and this bridge is like 120 feet over the water. Like that's how tall it was because those big ships go in and out of it. We were gonna go across it, but then it's like, why? So we didn't. We went back to Forest Grove that night. My niece went out for supper with some friends. I went to the hotel and just hung out for the night because we both decided that if we're going home, we're fucking going home. We're getting in the car and we're doing as much as we can in one day.
Right.
So get in the car. I wanted to be through Portland before 7:00, and we were, because I didn't want to hit rush hour going into Portland.
No, that's smart.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So got on the other side of Portland. We stopped at this little town called Cascade Locks, which just remember that name because in a little bit we'll get to that. Yeah, stop in that little town, have breakfast, get some cool pictures there because it's right on the Columbia River between Oregon and Washington. And yeah, just Columbia River's huge.
Okay.
And we keep driving. I will say this. Americans know how to build a fucking highway.
Yes, they do. There's
Like,
plenty of them.
there's plenty of them, and they're well built and well maintained.
Yeah.
Like, I, I wish all of our highways up here were like that. But, anyways, we drove. I think we stopped in Cascade Locks. We stopped in the Tri-Cities where the Tri-City Americans play.
Right.
We stopped after that in Spokane, Washington. We stopped then in Whitefish, where we thought we were going to stay the night. Like, that was like, at that point, when we stopped in Whitefish, there was 10 hours on the road.
Right.
And it was 6:00, and we just stopped and got McDonald's, and we were talking about it. I had to charge my phone because I forgot my car charger for it.
Mm.
And they're like, it was still bright out. I'm like,
Well, yeah,
that
makes sense.
we better just keep going. And she's like, yep, let's go. Because she wanted to get home. She like didn't want to stay on the road. You know, it's like, why? You know, like if there's hours, if there's daylight left, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah.
So we left Whitefish, and we get through the last mountain range, and we go through the Blackfoot Reservation on the east side of the Rocky Mountains there. Yeah. And our original plan is that we were going to make it into Lethbridge, like across the border and get into Lethbridge. We get to where you turned to go north into Lethbridge, like whatever the name of the crossing was. It's like, oh, only open 9 till 5, and it's like 7:00. It's like, for fuck's sakes.
Wow.
Yeah. So
interesting.
Yeah. So we Googled it, and it's like, well, Medicine Hat's 2.5 hours from here. It's like, well, let's go. I got on a highway, like the I-15 in Montana, and I never realized how fast that fucking speed limit is. It was 80 miles an hour. That was the speed limit. That's 130.
I was gonna say that's like over $120. Yeah,
it's 130. So I set my cruise at 130. It's like I didn't know what, like, if I like it felt weird. So we get up to the border crossing at Coots.
Yeah.
And I figure, okay, here's where the trouble's gonna be.
Right.
Because like I just felt that it was gonna be trouble.
Right.
Pull up to the border. The guy asked, so I just hand him our passports and stuff. He's like, where are you guys from? We're like, Cudworth, Saskatchewan. My niece said, just like, I live in Forest Grove, but like from Cudworth too. It's like, where are you headed? Home.
Saskatchewan.
Yeah. He's like, do you have anything to declare? I said, I have 4 packs of cigarettes and 32 beer. It's like, have a good day.
Holy shit.
it was literally, it was less than a minute we stopped at the border.
Wow.
Yeah. He's like, welcome home. See you later.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Always good. Get into Medicine Hat, crash for the night, wake up, fill the car with gas, and headed home.
And how long did that take?
5 hours.
That's not bad at all.
Not at all. So the whole trip in total took us 20 hours. Actually, the trip on like the second day would have been about 10 minutes shorter if I wouldn't have got stopped by the cops.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I came over hill and I was doing 120.
Oh.
Yeah.
Officer, I just spent like 2 hours doing $130.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, the trip was fun.
Wow.
My niece and I, we talked about a bunch of nerd shit.
Mm-hmm.
She slept a bunch of the time, and I listened to some very heavy metal while she did, which is surprising that she didn't wake up, no, the trip was good. I'd like to spend more time out there in that area, like maybe not Portland specifically, but like in the areas around it.
Yeah.
So I think a bunch of my family's actually going out next May for her some ceremony or some shit that we're all supposed to go to. So,
right.
But all in all, yeah, it was a good time.
Well,
and
good. I'm glad.
I recommend it. The weather was good. Maybe don't
stop in Portland.
Don't stop in Portland, and don't get the clam chowder, and the mussels at the same time.
Okay.
Well, like I said, I didn't have a bathroom in my room.
Oh.
Made some trips across the hallway a couple times that night.
Did your stomach hurt?
It did. It did, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, Forest Grove was fun. And I like I said, I'm going to plan to make it back there. Yes.
Right on.
That's my Portland
Cool.
story. And it probably went on a little long. And I could have left some
No,
stuff
that's
out.
fine. I mean, traveling stories are just that. They're traveling stories.
Yeah, exactly. So,
And the fact that you were able to like knock out a chunk of it in the first day,
Well-
some of it by choice and some of it just by circumstance. I mean, that made the second day that much.
Oh, yeah.
more
So it
relief,
was-
you know,
it was 1,500 kilometers the first day, which is a lot.
a lot.
And, you know, like we stopped for fuel two or three times. And then, yeah, like it was better to get that stuff done, you know, in the first day rather than the second day. So I have a group chat with my mom and dad and my sisters, and I texted them shortly after I got stopped. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is where we are. We will be home for lunch. And my mom's like, good. I'm surprised you guys got up this early, but good. I will have lunch made for everybody.
That's awesome.
I got to my mom and dad's house at about, 11:30. Hugged my mom and whatever, because she's so glad I was back, even though I was only gone a couple days. But regardless,
Yeah.
Mums,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I just walked to their fridge and I just grabbed a beer out of the fridge. It's like, I don't care. It's 11 o'clock in the morning.
I deserve this.
Yep. Yep. And I did deserve that because, like, I drove every kilometer of that trip. So, but no, it was fun. And I would do it again in a heartbeat. Maybe take a little more time next time just to, go see some stuff, like some other stuff. I would have liked to have driven down, like, into Northern California a little bit, but because I've never been that way. I mean, like, we talked about this last episode. It's like, because I've never been in these areas. So it's like stuff that a guy wants to see sometimes, I guess, if that makes sense.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be up for a road trip too. Absolutely.
Well, maybe we'll take the show on the road one day and we'll, like, go across, like, the U.S. or something.
Well, hurry up and win the fucking lottery then.
Fuck, here we go. I'd love to. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking, if I won the lottery, this is all I would be doing.
Not much would change in my life either. So
No, I'd be doing the podcast, but it would be from, like, exotic, like, destinations.
I'd have a dedicated studio. Like
100%.
Yeah.
100%. So, shifting gears.
Sure.
We've talked about the Foo Fighters not ad nauseum because you can't talk about them too much. They did just announce their new drummer.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the guy that I wanted it to be, but I'm glad who it was.
Okay, explain.
So Rufus Taylor was my pick. That's who I wanted it to be because he's Roger Taylor's son, the drummer from Queen.
Okay.
So that's his kid. And he played a bunch of songs with them, on the Taylor tributes and shit. I wanted him to be it and he actually looked like Taylor.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The problem is, like, he's like 30 and the guys in the Foos are like mid 50s.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not an issue, but it is an issue.
Yeah.
So I guess they went with this Josh Freese instead. He played in Devo. He played in the Vandals. He played in a bunch of bands, and he's been a great session drummer for the last fucking. Well, I mean, if he played in Devo, the guy's been active for fucking 35 years. Right?
Clearly.
Yeah. So they put out that video on whatever fucking stupid streaming platform that was. I can't remember what it was. But it was like, now I gotta look it up.
Okay.
It's like, it's some dumb name. But anyways, so they announced him as the the new drummer, and then like immediately went and fucking did a bunch of shows with him.
I mean, you know,
Why
might
not?
as well just jump into the fire. Might as well.
Well, yeah. I can't find the name of that thing. It doesn't matter. But
Okay.
it's he fits the band. So whatever this video was, and I think you can find it on YouTube now. It's about an hour long, and it's him and Taylor, or him and not Taylor, Dave, just talking about drumming, and like the whole band is there, and they're just bullshitting and playing a bunch of songs and shit, and it was really well done. So, and I think he fits the band better because he is of that age, the same age as the guys in the band. But that being said, like Taylor Hawkins' son was on stage with them over the weekend, like last weekend, playing a song with them too. So,
musicradar.com. No, that was a month ago.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
What is it? I'm just looking it up.
There's a bunch of obscure stuff, and like, yeah, I can understand it being hard to find. You have Shakeout New York, Rock Feed, Grunge and Rock, The Guardian, Variety Magazine.
Yeah, I mean, those are all news outlets. It was some weird streaming platform that you can, maybe I can find it. It's really not that important what streaming platform it was on, but
anyways,
yeah. But no, I think Josh Freese is a good fit. I think I think going forward they're going to be just fine. Like
considering the fact that Josh has been a musician for a while, and also has been a part of like a wide variety of bands, I think that, and like that is like right in Dave Grohl's wheelhouse.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's who he is, right?
well, I one would assume that he probably knew like Josh beforehand. Like Dave would have known Josh for sure.
Absolutely.
And there's
Freeze. Oh yeah, look at that. Freeze previously worked with acts like Guns N' Roses, A Perfect Circle, Paramore,
Yeah.
9 Inch Nails. Yeah, that's a good resume.
okay. The name of the website was Veeps, VEEPS, and it's a legit fucking website. It's like guys, like these website people are just they're running out of names for shit. So like Veeps is this now. So
Okay. Anyway, I'm looking forward to it. Like, quite frankly, like the fact that they've already produced an album and it's gonna be coming out with, like, as of the time of this recording, it's gonna be coming out in 48 hours.
yeah,
And also, like, it was months ago that they announced the fact that they are stepping in for Slayer on this European tour. It was Slayer.
No, because Slayer's been done since 2018.
They were stepping in for someone, and it was a part of a metal group.
Yeah, I is it Slipknot maybe?
It was not.
No, they're filling in for somebody, like regardless. But no, like they're moving forward, and
which is
we talked
wonderful.
about this in the last episode. If that's what Dave needs to do,
fucking let him do it.
Who,
Like,
who the fuck is gonna stop him?
of all people, Dave Grohl.
Like,
this is a man who fell off the stage, broke his leg, continued to do the concert, and didn't stop. Like, like nothing's stopping this man.
When you talk about like rock and roll royalty right now, like he's the top, right? Like you can't.
Oh yeah.
Like there's nobody above him for like
Alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm gonna make another allusion to a former episode. Sure. Our last episode with Lee, and again, Lee is on assignment this week.
Yes, he is.
Dog poop illness. But so remember how you made the reel or the short about the dog poop?
Yes, I did.
We moved that today.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah, it was not pretty.
Should have fucking burned the puppy.
We should, exactly. We should have burned the puppy. But yes, it was I had a couple moments where the puke was right about here, fucking, like throat level. But yeah, we got it done. And it's all good. He's moved and he's better off now.
Oh, good.
So it was it was it was so I was on the phone with my mom at noon today because I was supposed to go pick up my sister's dog, and I wasn't even done hanging up but like, and my weekend or my afternoon had cleared after I talked to my mom. I had some stuff I was supposed to do,
Right.
but then like I said, I wasn't even done hanging up on the phone with my mom, and Lee was calling me. He's like, "Are you busy today?" I'm like, "Nope, actually my schedule just cleared up." He's like, "I need some help today." I'm like, "Yeah, what do you need?" It's like, "If you bring your truck to the city, I have some stuff I need moved. I will fill your truck with gas and I'll buy you beer and I'll buy you supper." It's like, sure, whatever.
You had me at beer.
And gas. Gas is expensive, especially in that pig.
Yeah.
He put $100 in my truck, and I told him, like, he's like, "I want to fill it." It's like, no, because it's like $160. $100, yeah, like it was. I had like a quarter tank left, or over a quarter tank, and $100 didn't even fill it. So
Yeah.
but yeah, so it wasn't pretty. Like the dog poop, but yeah, we got it all done. It's all taken care of. We don't have to burn the puppy now. Yes. But speaking of puppies too, on the 18th, it was Fancy's 10th birthday. Fancy.
Aww.
Fancy.
Fancy, who has appeared on many prior episodes.
Fancy.
And now you're having a hard time getting her into the room.
Yeah. No, she's here. Come here.
There you go.
Come here, dum-dum.
There's Fancy and Loki.
Yeah. Hard to see on the. There we go. There's Fancy. Yeah. 10 years old now.
That's adorable.
Yeah. She's kind of a shithead. Can't really see it on the podcast.
Still a shithead.
There you go. Yeah.
What a good girl.
Yeah.
Good looking girl.
Yeah. 10 years old. You don't look a day over 6. Yeah. And another segue into from that is so last week I was supposed to be filming a different version of episode 47 with our first time second guest, if that makes sense. No. Miss Whitney Weston, owner of Flatlands Kennels in Maidstone, Saskatchewan, who I got Dumb and Dumber from, and came.
Right.
Will be joining us at some point in the near future for round 2, talking about dogs and life and dogs and more life and dogs.
Right.
Yeah. So look forward to that coming up. I did also secure us. Oh, hello, Loki, you little bitch. Dum Dum decided today to run off from me as soon as I let him out tonight.
Of course.
Normally they get put on a lead, but he snuck out after. As soon as I opened the door, he kind of just ran past me and then had a little run for about 20 minutes. Dum Dum.
Damn.
Yes. But no, again, yeah, so Whitney will be joining us again for round 2 in the near future here.
That's awesome.
Yes. It was a really well-received episode with her.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yes.
It's interesting to hear from the experience of a professional.
Yes, and that is exactly what she is. So
yeah, when it comes to canine behavior and training, as well as dietary needs, and that's entertaining because I don't have, like, I live in an apartment, right?
Yeah.
And as much as I would love to get a dog, I grew up around German Shepherds. It would not be proper.
It wouldn't be fair to the dog, honestly.
Exactly.
In a small apartment, yeah. You need the room.
Yeah, exactly. At one point in time, like I hope to, move into a house and like move into my own house. And
Yeah.
at that point in time, like, yeah, then, like the first thing is like, I'm getting a dog.
You get the
Like,
keys and then you get the leash. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like it took me about, I think it was 7 or 8 months.
Mm.
And then it's like, yeah, I like the house, but it's quiet here. So then actually an ex-girlfriend, and we were like exes at that time. She's like, I have the perfect dog for you. I'm like, oh. And then that's how I met Whitney and, I got Kane
Okay.
and shit. So,
Right.
yeah. Did you have anything else today?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. Okay,
Yeah, I
what do
did.
you got? I've been talking my fucking face off here. So,
Well, you had stories to tell.
yeah.
I've just been working my ass off, so just not
Yeah.
much to say there.
I kind of just want to sit back and sip on a beer for a minute.
Oh, by all means.
Yeah.
So speaking of filming things, so to try to diversify my skills and try to expand on different avenues when it comes to content creation as well as voice work and stuff like that. I have signed up for a website which is basically like the middleman resources between companies and projects and directors and producers and talent. And for me, like, I'm multifaceted. I can be a voiceover talent, I can be a content creator, and also I can work behind the scenes as like an editor.
Yep.
And so, like, I fill three categories on this website. And it was about a month ago, I get approached by this marketing company out in Quebec. And they said, we'd love to work with you. What we'd like to do is we'd like to have you create some videos, specific content, and no editing required, just 4 videos. We will send you product, and then we will send you a script as well as a shot list, and you just create the videos that corresponds with this shot list, and then we'll pay you for it.
Oh, nice.
That sounds wonderful. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Easy enough. Sounds easy.
Easy enough, right?
Yep.
So 4 videos. They're asking for 4 videos. So they send me this contract, and the contract, like, just completely out of nowhere. I'm reading through the contract, blah, 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 blah. 4 videos, raw, unedited, $800.
Oh.
Oh, fucking sign it.
Yeah,
Sign
yeah.
that shit off right now.
Yeah.
Right? So, okay, cool. So I signed the contract, and they said, okay, great. We will send you the products. We just need to know, this is for LED headlights, right?
Okay.
We just need to know what you drive. And so I told them what I drove, what the car that I owned.
Yeah.
And I sent them a photo of the front of my car as well as a close up of the headlights. And it's like, this is all the information that you need to give me the proper headlight products so that I can use these things and showcase these headlights, because that's what I'm assuming you're asking for.
Right.
So anyway, yeah, perfect. About 4 days later, they said, okay, we are going to send you this set of headlights, this set of headlights, and this set of headlights, 3 in total.
Okay.
And then once the headlights show up, we will send you the script, the shot list, as well as a file link so that you can drop off the videos. And then once we have the videos and we confirm that we are able to use these videos, you'll get paid. Like, okay, cool. So they don't send any tracking numbers.
Okay.
And because I'm not easy to trust, especially when we're talking about across the nation.
Yep.
I had them send the products to the radio station. So
Makes sense.
yeah. So a couple of Mondays ago, actually 3 Mondays ago, I get to the radio station, and the receptionist is like, something came in for you. I'm like, cool. She goes, nothing ever comes in for you. What the fuck is this? And so I explain, like, there's this marketing company in Quebec and they want to work with me and blah, 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 blah. And so they sent me 3 sets of headlights. She goes, okay, well, here you go. And she hands me this bag, and it's this size.
Okay.
Now, this is actually one of the sets of headlights.
Okay. Yeah. That's...
Okay, so it's 1 out of 3. All right, cool. So then I email the company. I go, just got the first set of headlights. Looking forward to, like moving forward with this. Can you send me a tracking number? And they said, great. We're looking forward to working with you as well. Hopefully the other sets of headlights will get to you in a very short period of time. Where's the fucking tracking number?
They didn't send him the
Anyway.
tracking number.
No. So Tuesday, the very next day, get to the radio station, and the receptionist like, another package came in, a little bit bigger this time. Okay, cool. So I grab the package. I go from the second floor, which is the reception and like all the paperwork and all that stuff, and I go up to the third floor where the radio stations are and where I work. And I sit down. I put the package on the desk in my office, and I open up my email, and I see 3 different emails from this company. And the first email is an updated agreement to the contract, and I read through it like nothing's changed. And then the second email is, here's the link to drop off all the information or all the files. Okay, cool. It's like a Google Drive, whatever. And then the third email is an assignment list. And this is the shot list. And also it says the deadline for submitting these videos is Friday, the 19th. And I'm like, where the fuck did this deadline come from? And it also says an asterisk, if the videos were not provided by the deadline, then there will be a 50% penalty within your pay. 50%, 50.
Okay.
Like,
weird flex, but okay. Yep.
Sure. So I go through the shot list, and again, like 4 videos, right? 20. There are 20 individual videos in this shot list.
Holy.
I'm like, okay, well, I'm still getting paid $800. So, All right, cool. But then I also look, and there's a script. And there's also a request for a dynamic video package and shots of reviews of product. I'm like, is this no editing? Like it says in the contract, no editing.
They wanted raw data. They didn't
exactly
raw video.
They
didn't want
raw videos.
Wow.
Which I thought was 4, but turns out was fucking 20. But anyway,
are you just shooting this on your phone then?
No. I have that camera, and also I have my other camera, so like high quality.
Yeah.
High quality video. Anyway, so sitting next to me is the package, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so they already sent me the first set of headlights. And again, anyone watching this, like the company has nothing to do with it. Like the company who provided these headlights to me were just like, they got the order, they provided the headlights. I'm dealing with the marketing company, not them directly.
Oh, okay.
So this is the first set of headlights that I got on a Monday. In the package, second set of headlights.
Okay.
Cool. Right on. In the package, fucking O-rings.
Those aren't headlights.
Those entire kit.
Those aren't headlights.
Of O-rings. So I'm like, the fuck?
So I'm guessing you lost 50% of your pay.
So I emailed them back. Right. This is again the Tuesday. This is the Tuesday, early in the morning, Tuesday, and the deadline is for Friday.
Yeah.
And I said, I opened up the second package. I got a second set of headlights, and for some reason I got the O-rings. Can you please send me the tracking number for the third set of headlights? Also, I would like some clarification with the shot list. As I understood it, it was 4 videos. I'm seeing 20 video requests here.
Yeah.
And also, there's a script and a request for graphics. Does this concern me? Like, please, some clarification, right?
Yeah.
No answer for an entire fucking week.
Oh boy.
No answer. But within that week, I'm like, all right, just one thing at a time. Break down the shot list, right? So I'm seeing what they're asking of me.
Yeah.
And I break it down into like, okay, so they want this, I can do it like this. And then I highlight like the videos that I can create all in one group, and then the videos I have to create when I install the headlights, and then the videos that are kind of like the B-roll.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like I can break this down. I can do this, right? So they want it they want it done by Friday. And this is now I've now leaked into Wednesday. They want all the videos by Friday, otherwise that $50 or 50% penalty, which my pay goes from 800 to 400.
Oh boy.
So like, whatever, fine. I wake up early in the morning, have my breakfast, grab all my gear, go down to my parking lot, set up the car, set up the gear, get all ready to go. I start like actually like disassembling my headlights and then
Yeah.
doing a time lapse, which is one of the videos that they asked for. So I'm recording this entire thing. I bust open one of these fucking things. They are the wrong ones. They do not fit my fucking car.
Oh boy.
And I will show you. I will show you why I knew immediately they will not fit my car. And it's because these are special LED headlights, which have to have a lot of space for the cooling pack because they have a lot of heat to them. But also, in all my years in working on cars and pieces of shit, and all my years of working with my car, which is a 2019 Kia Soul, I have never seen a headlight.
What in the fuck is that?
A socket.
No.
Like that.
No.
Never.
Not in Canada anyways.
Exactly. So I'm sitting there, I set up the whole thing, blah, 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 blah. I open up the box and go, what the fuck?
That's fucking terrible, dude.
Shut down the camera and like I checked the other box, the exact same connection, like nothing. And like this doesn't make any sense. And so I go back up, I come back upstairs, I log onto my computer, I go to this LED headlight company.
Yeah.
And I go, okay, like give me some sort of information here. And I'm looking and then I like, fuck it, I'll just search the headlights for my car. So I go and search the headlights for my car. There's adapters that they didn't send. So anyway, that was the Wednesday. And again,
there's more. Okay.
I emailed them on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I attempted to do everything possible on Wednesday, could get nothing done. Sent another email saying like, okay, update. I can't do anything at all because I cannot physically plug these into my car. Like there's either an adapter that's missing or these are the wrong headlights or whatever. I sent an email on Wednesday and then I sent an email on Friday and then I sent an email on Sunday. They ignored me.
Oh boy.
Like flat out ignored me. By this time I'm like, fuck y'all. Like this deadline that you hit me with came out of nowhere. You asked for 4 videos, not 20. Like, what the fuck is this? So I call up a buddy of mine who's like, he deals with marketing in Vancouver. And I'm like, this is the company. Can you look into this? He goes, yeah, this company hasn't existed for like 10 months. Like they've just sprung up. And I'm like, okay, can you, and I send him everything. And he goes, this is so mediocre and this is so rookie and they don't know what the fuck they're asking for here. And like, so on Tuesday, which was this Tuesday, I emailed them and it was all or nothing. I'm like, I am extremely disappointed, frustrated. Like I've been in the radio industry for 20 years and this is bullshit. Like, blah, like just everything. Like not being mean, but
super rude, but yeah, no, I get it.
Exactly, right? Send off the email. 10 minutes later, an email back. We are so sorry, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, fucking fix it. Like, if you want me to work with you, fucking fix it.
Well, yeah. I mean, holy... To first off give you a deadline and then to give you this fucking weird ass fucking like not working equipment for what you're supposed to do a review on, like get fucked.
I don't know what to do with this. Like this is so ridiculous.
Like that's a fucking 12-volt plug. It looks like.
It looks like, but here's the thing. Like, okay, like I have nothing to compare it to, but this is half the size of a 12-volt plug.
Oh, okay. Weird.
Like I don't.
No,
Yeah, I don't have nothing.
It's
Anyway,
it's just
whatever. No, I do. 12-volt headlight. Like it's literally
wow.
half the size.
I mean, they probably
Anyway,
do that because those headlights are probably generic. And yeah. So, I don't know. That's just fucking weird, dude.
yeah. So anyway, like I said, 10 minutes after I wrote that email of like, this is bullshit, they respond back. We are so sorry. We're sorry for the misunderstanding. We've just briefly spoken within the company. I'm like, yeah, all three of you. Like, fuck off. Um, and like we want to work together with you. We want to get things done. We want to make things right. Let me get back to you. We are so sorry. Blah 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 blah. Right. So now I'm kind of like, all right, cool, fix it, just fucking fix it. Because at this point in time, it's a loss. Like I'm sitting here with two sets of headlights that I cannot use and a box of fucking O-rings for no reason.
Well, I mean, you could like if you wanted, you could probably go buy the adapters. Go on eBay
No,
or
no, this company, there's only 3 stores in the world, and one of them is in Quebec.
oh, I mean,
Like this
you
is
probably could buy the adapters though.
why should I spend money?
Well, I mean, I guess but I mean, you or you could sell them.
Could sell them.
There's probably some shop in Vancouver that you could probably sell that shit to.
Probably.
Yeah.
But like, holy shit!
That's just
Like
garbage, man.
what? The like flat out like I sent a total of 6 emails that were all went unanswered for a week, and
Like,
then
and I suppose they never gave you a fucking phone number either. Because you know what?
there's-
I've dealt with enough dumb shit over the years that, like, you fight back and forth over a fucking email, or you get in the car, or for me, I mean, like, you get in the car and you go talk to this person face to face, and you figure it
yeah,
out fucking, like, in about 4 seconds.
yeah, oh, yeah,
There is something to be said about face to face or, like, voice to voice contact.
no, absolutely,
The same thing.
absolutely,
So, like, I was dealing with, I'm trying to book one of my bands at a place for this summer.
right,
And I've been going back and forth with the person booking this stuff for we went back and forth for weeks. Finally, the one day I got off work early and like I messaged her. It's like, can I just come out and talk to you? And she's like, absolutely. It like we talked for 10 minutes and everything was fucking hashed out like and 100% just done. It's like, here you go.
yeah,
This is what's happening. This is where it's going to happen. We're getting paid what we want. It's just, yeah.
yeah,
So,
and then a handshake, and it's a pleasure doing business with you, and off you go.
yep, exactly.
Yeah.
There is definitely something is definitely lost with an online interaction.
No, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
Like if this was a local company, like
If that
day
was a local
3.
company, it wouldn't have happened
No,
like
God
that.
no. Day three of like I'm looking for fucking answers. Like I would have gone and said I need to talk to so and so.
Yeah. Yeah,
But yeah.
exactly.
So when it comes to this, like I've lost my enthusiasm for it.
Well, I don't blame you.
I basically said fix it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
and I haven't heard anything back from them, and that was Tuesday.
Yeah. It's like this is
And
this is your baby now, so
yeah. Sorry. So that was yesterday. So yeah. Anyway, like
Yeah.
holy shit. So that's my story. Now, like this has nothing to do with the company that created the O-rings. This has nothing to do with the company that is selling the headlights, and this has nothing to do with the website that I have subscribed to. It has everything to do with the marketing company that
Right.
has used the website to connect to me.
100. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a fuck up.
So it's big fuck up. Like
Yeah.
big fuck up, right?
Yeah. What you listened to this week?
I stumbled across a song that I haven't heard since my live radio show was up at the university. And the rules are interesting when it comes to certain radio stations. If it's community radio, there are specific rules that you have to follow. If it's commercial radio, again, there are different rules you have to follow, but still rules nonetheless. And it's basically fall within the borders.
Yeah.
If it's university radio,
Whatever the fuck
the
you
big
want.
rule, the big rule is anything you fucking well want, as long as it's not signed to a record company. So independence, right?
100% independent. Yes.
100% independent.
I used to love the radio station, like the indie radio station in Saskatoon in the 90s. It was so fucking good. I could never get it where I live because I'm just beyond the border of how far their transmitter was. But
yeah. So sometimes on Spotify, it'll be like playlist enhancement, and it's just like, well, throw random songs. You let us know what you think about it. And for whatever reason, it threw in "Gunfight" by Sick Puppies.
Oh, I know Sick Puppies.
yeah.
I
at one
think I
point in
know
time,
this
they were
song.
unsigned.
Yeah.
At one point in time, they were unsigned, but they threw in "Gunfight" from Sick Puppies. I'm like, fuck, I haven't heard this song in years.
Nice.
So there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Isn't it great when you find a song like that you hadn't heard in years, but you loved back in the day, and then you revisit it? It's so good. So good. So my first one is going to be Foo Fighters song. We've added a bunch of Foo Fighters songs in the last little bit, but this it's their most famous song, but in my opinion, it's also probably one of the greatest songs ever written. It's Everlong.
Oh yeah,
like Everlong is in my opinion almost perfect. Like when you talk about a rock song, you can't get much better than Everlong. You can't. Like it is fucking. It has everything. It's like the vocals, like the bass line is super fun. The drums are super fast. I know my buddy Ken, the drummer, he loves playing it, but he hates playing it because it's fast. But it's got everything. So like my band does it now. We do the video version of it. So like the song ends and then it comes back into the chorus for one last crescendo, and it's so much fun to do it that way.
Yeah.
But anyway, so my first one is Everlong. And I stand by, I will die on that hill. That is that is like the best fucking rock song ever written. And I don't think I'd have too much argument against that.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Absolutely. My second one, and this is, again, it was just like, so I created a workout playlist because I was working out like a couple of weeks ago. I was working out and I was just using my liked songs off of Spotify, and there's songs in there that don't exactly go well with working
especially
out,
if you're working out. Yeah,
exactly. But so I made a workout playlist, and if you'd like to follow it, it's the Media Jacked. I thought that was kind of fun.
That's about right. Yeah.
Yeah. I should actually update you on that. But on that list, like I was going through like a lot of my old songs and even going through my own private library, and there was a song that was heavily featured on a video game, Saints Row 4, and it's from a Canadian.
Love that game.
What?
Love that game.
Saints Row 4 is awesome.
Yeah, it's so good.
A Canadian artist. Actually, I think he's out of Calgary. Datsik, Datsik. The one song that was heavily featured in Saints Row 4 and was like one of the main songs in the dubstep gum.
Yeah.
Vindicate by Datsik. And anyone who's played Saints Row 4 will know this song.
I'm guessing as soon as I turn this on, I'm gonna know exactly what it is. Because like I used all the cheats right away, so I got all the guns right away.
Yeah,
and I just went straight to the dubstep gun. Gun. Yeah.
Gun. Yeah, that's hard to say. I know.
Yeah, it's a lot of words. So my next one, and actually, while we were talking, I did some cross referencing. I added this song on before.
Okay.
but I deleted it, and I'm added it again.
Why'd you delete
Because
it?
there's no, but like because I just re-added it, but there's
Okay.
a reason for that. Remember how before when I was telling you about my trip, it's like remember the name of this town,
Right.
Cascade Locks.
Yes.
There's a Misery Signals song called Cascade Locks.
Oh shit.
So I specifically was looking at the map when we were going through. It's like, I'm stopping in this fucking town because of fucking Misery Signals. And we
Right.
did. Like, so the cool thing about Cascade Locks, the town, is that there's a fucking really cool old bridge there that goes across the Columbia River. And apparently back in the day when the indigenous people were still in that area, like way before, there was a natural rockfall that created a bridge there, and they called it the Bridge of the Gods. And apparently either got washed out or got moved or whatever. But now they built a steel bridge across, and they call that the Bridge of the Gods now. So, but Cascade Locks by Misery Signals, I'm sure as fuck that they named this song after that town.
It's obscure enough. It has to.
It has to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
Like, this town was like, it was like about fucking 4 hotels and like about 6 fucking like methed out trailers. That's what it looked like. So, anyways. That's,
Awesome.
yeah, but I deleted the old version. I'm sure I brought this up in an old episode because it was like from 21, I think I looked at it when I added it. So,
Okay.
is what it is. Added it again. I don't care. It's my podcast. I do what the fuck I want.
Anyone listening or watching, if you'd like to see what we're talking about, as well as the entire list of music that we have accumulated over the years that we've been doing this, it is on Spotify, and you have to look for Found Signals, a Lost Signals playlist.
Yes. I will try and put a link on the Facebook page. We also do now, and we had mentioned this in the last episode, that we now do have a Lost Signals Instagram account.
Yes.
We will not be getting a TikTok account.
I don't care. Instagram is all we need, quite frankly.
We have the Facebook page, also lostsignals.ca, and again, I haven't updated that fucking website in fucking 2 years, but it's what it is. One day, I'll do it. I keep paying for it, so might as well do something with it.
Yeah. If anything, you're interested in just like a tiny little bit or a sample or anything like that, there will be clips as well as bite-sized clips posted on YouTube, and clips in general posted on Instagram.
Yes.
Yes.
So we're all over the place now. Episode 47 in the books.
There
Darrell.
you go. I'm JD.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Later, buddy.
Party anyway.
Dude.